Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello ma'am, my name is Nidaul Hayati. I would like to explain about second language learning in children and adults. In this slide, I will explain about the first is children are better, a common belief. The second is basic psychological factor affecting second language learning. The third is social situation affecting second language learning. And the last is there a critical age for second language learning. And first is children are better, a common belief. Most people believe that children are better than adults when attempting to learn a second language. That seems to be backed up by the common observation that young second language learners seem to pick up another language quickly, just by exposure and without teaching. Yeah, as we know that Yeah, as we know that children only need exposure without teaching. Why? Because they are on golden age period. So the children more easy to catch the language. And also there is a quote say that belajar di waktu kecil bagaikan mengukir di atas air, sementara belajar di waktu dewasa bagaikan mengukir di atas batu. Yeah, from the quotes we can know that the children more easy to learn a second language because their mind, their memory is more easy to memorize the vocabulary. But the adults, the memorize in vocabulary more or less because they mind very many things, many thing to thinking about something. And next, factor involved in second language acquisition. The first is psychological. In this section, we shall consider intellectual processing, memory, and motor skill. Yeah, this is very important in psychological. And the second is social situation. The types of situation, setting, and interaction which an individual experience can affect the learning of a second language. And the last is other psychological variable. And next, psychological factor affecting second language learning. There is three factors, and the first is induction, the second is explication, and the last is memory. In induction, this ability remains at a relatively high level with age, except with certain individuals in old age. Yeah, induction, it is very important, and we know that in golden age is more easy to remember vocabulary, to remember one by one word that some people say, so the children can listen and after that remember and after that imagine what the word. So it is more easy in children than old age. And as we know that the golden age is between one or and and as we know that the golden age is between 0 until 5 years old. And as we know that the golden age is between 0 until 5 years old. Explication. And the next is explication. Disability increase with age. Yeah, truly. Why? Because can a good ability in explication if they are in more age. For example, in children, maybe not clear in produce the language, but in old age or in adults, they can good produce the language and more clearly when produce the language. The last is memory. This is an ability in which very young children are high. Yeah, of course, because in children have a good period. Like I say before, they have a golden age between 0 until 5 years old. So in that old, they can memorize the vocabulary easy and very easy to catch some words. So children are high in their memorize the vocabulary, and so it is make the children easy in second language learning. Next, memory ability. The memory ability of very young children seems to be unparalleled in that they can absorb a phenomenal amount of data. While children at the age of 5 or 6 still display a phenomenal ability at rote memorizations, it seems that older children don't. Yeah, as we know that, and as I say before, that the children has a golden age from 0 until 5 years old, but 6 years old is can easy also to memorize the vocabulary, but after 6 years old it's more difficult to memorize the vocabulary. And why? In this slide say that older children don't and display a phenomenal ability at rote memorization. So the last, younger children tend to rely more on memory than older children. Next, adults and children in short-term memory tasks. According to a study by Hunter, in which subjects had to remember digits, short-term memory seems to increase up to the age of 15 years old. Yeah, because in 15 years old is in puberty period. So I mean, many people think everything in their mind, because in 15 years old maybe they think about boyfriends, or maybe in tasks in their subject, and then many things. So it is very difficult to memorize the vocabulary in language acquisition, especially in second language. Yeah. Demonstrated that rehearsal strategies were more likely to be the cause of the greater adults' short-term memory, since adults are better at understanding how to go about remembering, according to Murray and Roberts. And next, short decline of memory. Memory seems to begin its sharpest decline around the age of puberty. Yeah, as like I said before, in 15 years old, many people think everything in their life, such as, especially in puberty, maybe she has boyfriends, and then it can make difficult to learn again about the second language, because the priority is not only in the language but in anything, and they will think about the first important to their life. And I mean, the second language is not important for they, because they have a mother tongue or the first language to communication with other people. And next, motor skills. Articulator of speech. Good pronunciation is clearly an important part of learning a foreign language. Why? Yeah, it is very interesting because pronunciation is not good or maybe bad pronunciation. I think another people can not understand well what they say because in English pronunciation and written word is very different. So be careful in pronunciation. I mean be good pronunciation because it is very important in learning foreign language. And the second motor skill is a term which psycholinguistics use to describe the use of muscle in performing certain skills. And the last is the motor skill which are involved in speech utilize what linguists calls the articulator speech. And next, in decline yeah, decline in general motor skills. Around the age of 20 years or so, there is a general change throughout our body. Next, decline in general motor skill. Around the age of 20 years or so, there is a general change throughout our body that affect all of our motor skill. Yeah, of course. And the second, we all recognize that to be able to attain a high level of proficiency in a motor skill, generally one should start young. Okay, next. In social situation, there are three social situations. The first is natural situation. It's similar to that in which the first language is learned. But yeah, natural situation is about like mother tongue or the first language. It's similar, yeah, similar. And the second is classroom situation. It involves the social situation of the school classroom. Yeah, it is very interesting and important in classroom situation because many students can learn with their teacher, with their friends, so it can be easy to the students to make interest in learning second language. But in natural situation, it's more like learning by their family. Yeah. And the last is community context. It allows students to have access to a natural situation and therapy supplement their classroom learning. Yeah, it seem like a course. I mean, the student can make a group course so they can speak English fluently. They can learn about the second language very easy and very fun to their group. And next, social situation, the natural situation. The first is characteristic of the natural situation, and second is with age. Language is more essential for social interaction. And the last is older children can have problems. In older children can have problem, of course, because in older children, it is very difficult to remember, to understand the language, to know what the new language in their life, because in older children they can very difficult to understand the language because can they don't know what the meaning from the language. And I mean the children, especially older children, have to more hard in learning about second language. Yeah, social situation, who is better, children or adults? Yeah, I mean, I be imagined before because I will say that the difference between children or adults in learning second language. So we can look again in a natural situation in children and adults. Children in memory very high. As children in memory very high. Children in memory high, of course. Motor skills high, of course. Induction high, of course. Natural situation high also, yeah, of course. And adults medium in memory, low in motor skills, high in induction, and low in natural situation. And then in social situation, the classroom situation, the classroom is isolated from other social life, yeah, because in classroom only room in the room of class, yeah. And the second is learning language as part of a group and not as an individual, because if we learn by individual, I think it's more difficult than learning language as part of a group, because we can produce the language with our friends, we can talking about something that make interesting, that make funny. So in group very easy to learn about second language. And next, social situation, who is better, children or adults in the classroom situation. Older child, cognitive experience low, memory high, motor skill high. And adults, cognitive experience high, memory medium, motor skill low. Okay, next, what are the differences between children and adults? The first is age. Of course, we can know that the children and adults is very different, yeah. We can look from their body, so the age is very different, especially in critical period, yeah, in golden age. And then the motivation is also very different, because in adults we can uh, give exposure, give the motivation to learn about second language, because if the other people did don't don't give the motivation, I mean, they can learn second language well. But different with the children, if we not give the motivation, it can be run well, ya, bisa berjalan dengan sendirinya. And then attitude, and the last is environment is very important in support the language, especially in second language and second language learning. Natural language acquisition, the age of 2 until 20 years old, and brain before age 2, the brain in not ready, because the children just say ba ba ba, mama mama, yeah, babbling. But it is golden age also. After the age of 20, the brain lose its plasticity, yeah, because it's become adults, ya. Jadi mulai menurun daya tangkapnya gitu ketika mempelajari bahasa. Apalagi di atas 15 tahun itu sudah sangat minim untuk mempelajari bahasa itu sendiri. Oke. In the conclusion, in second language learning, it's more easy to children than adults. I think that's all for me. Thank you very much for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.